everybody. So last week we had a problem where the video was corrupted, but the podcast did come out. It just came out audio only.
Yeah.
So it was I had messages saying it was a very good podcast, the best in the world. So
I'm actually happy that the video got corrupted because my hair looked like shit. So I kind of got sick.
So priorities. Pixel apparently knew that and decided to not release the video. It's AI is starting to understand feminism,
But
and there's
how do
a
you
code
think-
in it.
No, but how do you think that video
Like
got
I
corrupted?
So you can find
No, I'm
it
joking.
as an audio. Well, yeah, obviously. You can find it as audio on Apple and Spotify, Spotify, and all that stuff. Anyway, so today is 200 and something, 40, I think, and I wanted to follow up a bit on the training. I have more and more one-on-ones lately. I think I'm at 8. And by the way, I do have space for like 3 to 4 more, where I'm actually enjoying now coaching also one-on-one athletes toward either issues, back pain, stuff like that, or just plain getting stronger, becoming better as a coach. I'm enjoying that more and more. I'm back into my old Strongfit mindset, because as I'm creating the Strongfit system, I want to put into place, and as I found my own training, I found that part of coaching more and more interesting also, because I see a few issues I want to fix, and that's what I want to talk about today. So first we're going to talk training. I would like us to go over what you're doing, what I'm doing, like how we're making progress, and we finish with the food, so people understand exactly what we are doing. The reason I want to do this is because I feel we need to repeat again and again and again and again all the Strongfit stuff we're doing, because I feel if we don't talk about it, people have the impression we're not doing it.
Yeah. No.
Maybe it's a YouTube thing, maybe it's a today thing,
Yeah.
but where they're inundated with so much information that I think people forget we do the stuff.
Yeah.
So I think on the podcast I want to talk continuously about how we do things, because knowing how much other stuff you listen to and unfortunately how much bullshit there is out there, I think sticking with the very specific, very important principles is necessary, and mentioning that all the time, because I've noticed with my one-on-ones, a lot of the questions they ask me I've already talked about, but I know that because I've done the stuff, but they either missed a podcast, or they didn't know I covered the subject, or just plain forgot because we don't mention it maybe enough.
And I think there's another point to that, is that there's one thing to know, for example, about the neoprene, and here you're talking about it, but having it in practical application is a whole different ballgame, right? Like all the principles, like how do they all fit together?
Even the
like
neoprene, I think there was a lot of mistake about the neoprene too. So maybe I just suck at explaining, because I see how the applications of the principles.
But
all right, so let's go over the training, right? So let's go over that. So I'm going to give you the basic stuff of what we do right now. So right now we are not prepping for a powerlifting competition. So I think Janina's training and mine actually are matching.
Yeah. Fine.
You're not training with me, but we're matching training.
We have to.
She got kicked out because she's a good wife, but she sucks as a training partner, because it's all about her. And suddenly I'm supposed to concentrate, like, how do I look? And you suck the energy, my energy, out of my training. Not just the room, out of my training too. So again, great wife, sucks as a training partner.
I do suck as a training partner, and
so she got kicked out.
Yes, and I agree actually. I don't even fight it. I'm trying to win myself my spot back by like being really nice to you, by like changing your weights when you train. I try to be like teacher's pet, but it's not really working. I
Slowly.
I need to improve some things.
As a training partner.
Yeah, as a training partner, I agree.
Yes, it has nothing to do with being a wife.
Oh no,
Anyway.
honey, I don't think so. I agree. I think.
Oh, you better you better agree when since you got kicked out.
No, I mean I don't think it says anything about me.
I'm sure you don't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it didn't even enter your mind. Nah.
No, you don't have to think that.
Nah, exactly. Right.
No,
anyway.
I was like,
so what do we have? We have 2 specific days. We have a heavy day and a volume day. Volume day is conditioning, all those crazy strong fit workout, heavy obviously. So what we have, for example, is right now we're gonna have a deadlift volume, a deadlift day. So the heavy deadlift day is gonna be, let's say Monday, right? It's a heavy deadlift day. So I'm gonna go over a specific. So let's talk about that because that's a very important point. We say heavy deadlift day. What does that mean in the programming? Well, it's gonna be a long podcast.
It's okay. I think they enjoy the longer
Right.
format.
So a heavy deadlift day means what? You have to understand when I mean deadlift. It's not necessarily a barbell off the ground type of thing. Deadlift. For me, deadlift is anything, any dead weight on the ground that you bring up to your head. Right. So with this, there's going to be variation, necessary variation. So for example, we have obviously the conventional deadlift and we have the sumo deadlift. Right away, two different movements. Why? Because one is narrow stance, the other one is wide stance. That changes completely the way your hips are going to work. So for example, if you're tall with long leverages like me, I'm not especially tall, but I have really long femur. I probably have the femur.
6 feet, you're not short.
Right, but I have the femur of someone who's probably 6'5". Like it's crazy. The percentages are absurd. We short arms, so I'm fucked for the deadlift. But anyway, so what does that mean? That means that I'm going to use hammies and back a lot because I'm lifting by pushing my hips out. So that's a lot of hammies, a lot of back. So I don't have the hammies, but I do have the back. So there you go, right? Someone who has big hips, wider hips when it comes to, I'm not talking in the vacuum. I mean wider hips based to their height, stuff like that. They can go a slightly wider stance and they're going to push their way up. So you have strong hips. That's why women that have bigger hips to their ratio, right? I do better with sumo or at least even on conventional, a slightly wider stance. Now, that's not true to everybody. There's some women right now that are deadlifting ridiculous amount of weight in a conventional with a narrow stance, right? But most of the time, that's what you see, right? Like an Ed Cohen had super blocky hips. He had a fairly wide stand on his conventional deadlift because he was very tankish, very short, but super wide hips. I mean, super tankish. Anyway, so you have already those two forms. But then in a deadlift, I count anything heavy can be for example, picking up a stone and lapping it, that's a deadlift. Picking up a heavy sandbag, that's a deadlift. If we go into power clean, it's a bit different, so I'm going to explain why. So farmer's deadlift, obviously count, and my favorite, the deficit stiff leg off the floor. So for example, why do I like the farmer's and the deficit stiff leg off the floor? Because it's very much a internal torque movement, right? You're actually pushing your hips toward, as you should on all deadlift, but you don't have that explosion out through the back. It's more pushing your hips forward. You'll know that it's internal torque versus external torque the way you brace. If you brace to your obliques and your low abs, you're in internal torque. If you start to go with a 4-pack and toward your lumbar, right, that's an external torque movement. If you think jumping on a box, it's not, you're going to brace to load, but once you explode, you go to your abs and to your lower back because that's an external torque movement. So my heavy deadlift, I think it's better to work in a heavy deadlift movement. If I want to work on the external torque, we're going to go toward the power clean, whether it's a sandbag or barbell. So I'm going to get to that. Anyway, heavy deadlift, I'm going to do a form of deadlift that I like in internal torque. So it can be deadlift off the floor deficit, can be sumo, right? Sumo can be an external torque, but that depends on leverages. Now we're getting into more complex things. Anyway,
that really
then
depends
we're going, deficit, stiff leg deadlift is my favorite. Farmers, you get it. All those movements for one set of 5 reps. Why one set? Because if I do a second set, either I'm cheating on the first one or I'm cheating on the second one. But you're not going to bring it on 2 sets of 5 reps on the deadlift. That's not true. Like it takes just too much out of you. That we're going to do every 2 weeks. So you're going to see that the press I do more often. The deadlift is the one thing we do every 2 weeks only because it's so taxing. It's very high on the weight on your spine. It's actually quite technical, but doesn't matter. For the nervous system, it's a destroyer. So this one we're going to do every 2 weeks. So 1 week is going to be deadlift heavy. 1 week is going to be deadlift volume.
Yeah.
So volume, what do we mean? So volume, there's a great way we have of training right now what we call the reps. So the reps is a pickup and a carry. So for a farmer's walk, I could just pick up the farmers and carry 10 meters, set it down, pick it up again, come back 30 feet. So every time you pick it up and you go 30 feet, that's 1 rep. We do sets of 5 reps. So 5 pickups, pick up, carry 5 times.
Yeah.
Why? Because every time you carry, it's going to tax your hammies a lot. It makes the next pickup exponentially harder. So even if you take a weight, you could do 10 reps with a farmer's deadlift, most likely when it comes to those reps we're talking about, you're only going to do 5 or 6. Because the carry challenges everything tremendously.
Yes. Well, that workout we did yesterday, the 1 arm carry,
right.
My goodness,
so
my obliques were...
Right. So there's another form of deadlift volume. Yesterday we did the suitcase carry. So 1 arm, farmer's walk, you pick it up, you carry 30 feet, switch hands, come back, do 5 reps per hand, 10 reps total. Oh my God, as a conditioning workout, this is amazing. Like, yeah, it's horrible. You have to understand when we talk volume and conditioning, we're talking from a strength perspective. So no, if you do a suitcase deadlift for like 400 meters, no, it is not what I'm talking about. I don't know how else to explain it, but you cannot take the Strongfit idea that we are doing, turn it into a CrossFit workout and have it being effective. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. If you do a suitcase deadlift light and you just carry with a kettlebell, you're gonna shrug, your hand is not gonna be in the right position. It's just not working. Did you notice? Yeah. It's not working. You have to stop doing stuff just for the sake of doing something new and different.
Yeah, and by the way, the thing, for example, like you already did it 3 weeks ago, that doesn't mean that you cannot do it again. Like we do the same movements all the time in that sense. But also it's like a question that pops up in my head that someone could have. It's like, okay, but you guys said deadlift every 10 days to 2 weeks. So why now every week?
Heavy deadlift. You can deadlift far more often. You can't heavy deadlift too much, right? That's 2 weeks. You can do other form of deadlift. So in that case, volume. So if you want to do a CrossFit workout, there are CrossFit workouts that are better. Like, for example, if you want to do carry, stuff like that, sandbag carries are great, or things like that. But you notice we have the 400 meter sandbag carry. We have workouts that are longer. The one we're talking about, that is the base of the template to get stronger, do not work with carries past 100 feet. Yeah. 200 feet maybe, 300 feet is going to be the max. You see, that means that I wanted maybe on the yoke carry, stuff like that, but 300 feet is by far the most we're going to do, and most likely that's going to be 1 set. I mean, like, or 300 feet of accumulated work. But the whole thing about like go for 100 meters, 200 meters, like, a mile or stuff like that, that is another idea. You're not in the Strongfit realm anymore. This is designed with a very specific idea in mind to hit a specific intensity. We had that issue with Janina, who took one of my workouts and turned it into an imam. And she's like, I did the workout. And I'm like, no, you did it in an imam. It's the same thing. So I made her do the same workout my way, which is as an AMRAP, because it was conceived as much. And guess what? She had to go to a dark place and she quit. Because you did. Tell the truth. You know why? It's because she's been avoiding the dark place.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean,
Strongfit conditioning, the workout that you see, what we call the volume, is for you to go to a dark place.
Yeah.
But not the CrossFit dark place. That's another dark place. We can talk about which one is darker. Not to be racist, but that conversation can happen. But there's a different CrossFit dark place and Strongfit dark place. The stuff you see us do to make you stronger is going to be those AMRAP workout when you go until either your hand or your conditioning quits. But it's a much different thing. It is not, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not to be changed. Stop taking my workouts and fucking them up. And that includes you.
I know.
Stop fucking up my work. What do you think? I put them that way. It's not for you to tinker with. I'm sorry. You can, but then you're not doing the workout I'm asking you to do. So then don't come tag me on it and say, I did your workout. No, you didn't. I built it a certain way because I tested it. I want you to go to a specific dark place. So, on the template.
Pussy that day. That's really.
But that's big. No, because you train yourself into pussying yourself. You didn't pussy that day. You pussied yourself over time. Yeah, that's what happens. You have to go to that dark place. You have to train yourself to go there. Doesn't always happen in 1 second. Yeah, well, welcome to Brazil. Anyway, so, and by the way, I released my template today. So if it's on the click on Instagram and then it'll send you there. Anyway, those workouts are designed a very, very specific way. So the deadlift volume will be, for example, at the farmer's carry 4 reps, like we said. The suitcase carry 4 reps. You have the It could be like, for example, one I liked a lot was that was a very good workout for volume. That one is a dark place tester. Is you power clean the sandbag, carry it in a Zercher, 5 reps. The one I did, I put it with 90 kilos. I could have pushed, but I had to go to a dark place I'm not ready for yet. Because I push it myself as well on the training, let's be honest. So I need to go back there too. But that workout, oh, that one was good.
Yeah.
Right, so that's going to be on my volume day, stuff like that. Yes, before that, I might do like 2 sets of sumo for 10, 12 reps because I want to lit up the hammies a little bit more or whatever. But that's not the core, the bread and butter of the volume workout. The bread and butter of the volume workout is those horrible Strongfit workout. Like you want one, so that's, I'll go into the squat because there's some good ones too. Anyway, that's my deadlift, right? So the deadlift is a bit different. 1 week heavy, 1 week volume. Now, when we go into pressing, we're going to have a pressing, like let's say bench, and a pressing, let's say overhead. So I'll do a bench heavy, a pressing overhead volume, and vice versa in the same week. So if it's heavy bench this week, it's volume overhead pressing. If it's bench volume, then it's overhead pressing heavy. Same idea, and then we're going to do the carry as well. So for example, I might do the log, max weight for on a heavy overhead press, and then the workout that I like a lot, for example, is you put the yoke carry at eye level. I press it, carry it 30 feet. That's 1 rep. So I can do a 5 rep if it's a volume day. I can do a 3 rep if it's a strength day, heavy. What I can do as well also is I can rotate those and do like a 5-3-1 system with that rep scheme.
I think that's
Like
actually...
a Wendler 5-3-1.
Yeah.
So 5 plus, 3 plus, 1 plus with the same exercise. And one day I do it on my volume day when it's 5 plus, and then as I go to 3s and 1s, I put it on my heavy day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, so I keep the same movement, the same workout, but I transform it from a conditioning one to a strength building one, which is a very different idea. So you see what I mean? Like, so it's created based on those ideas.
And you can do that idea with carries. I think that's the cool part as well. Like it doesn't have
that's
to
why
be
we have
only-
heavy and
exactly.
So for example, if I have a heavy deadlift, then we'll have a volume squat. The volume squat can be your typical, you can imagine, but it's also the workouts like you take a sandbag, you do enough weight to do 10 squats, max reps, for max weight for 10 reps, and then from there you do a max distance carry. That's a murder for your hips and hammies right there.
Yeah.
You could do Anderson squat, you do 6 to 8 reps, in the sense of you pick it up from an Anderson squat position, so very low, and you yoke carry it 30 feet. Put it down, do it again. Do 6 to 8 reps. That was my workout. That one, oh my God, it's as bad as the sandbag. It's horrible. Because you have to brace so much on this for your core. It has to be one of the best workout ever for the core, I kid you not, right? So you can see, so basically I do a main movement and a carry. That's really the base of the stuff. And it's gonna be either heavy or volume. And then on the volume, I have all those, like for example, a great workout for volume was, because that's going into a dark place, that's the point of the volume day, is the front squat into press. 5 front squat with sandbag, 5 press, and then you try to last.
That workout is getting me.
Try to last 3
getting me
minutes.
so-
Right. How many reps can you do in 3 minutes without putting the sandbag down?
Well,
It's
it is
horrible.
a 5-minute arm rep, and I'm like,
It's horrible.
I'm still like today was the first time I actually got to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Like, but you see what you have to go mentally.
Yes, sometimes
it's murder.
I'm doing it every week until I get to 5 minutes. I'm
And that's the
so
point.
fucking
Right, so-
tired of it.
Right. But that's.
I'm not making it.
Yes, and that's the point. And by the way, that's the mindset too. How do you think you're going to go to that dark place without having that mindset? That's, by the way, a problem that I see. People are just coming into like, oh, I'm going to do that. That's my problem when you do farmer's walk for 400 meters. Anybody can do that. You know why you like it? Because it's easy. That's all. You know why you don't like it when you go 100 feet? Because it hurts. It hurts your hands. It hurts your structure. And that's why you're going to have results out of it. But let me tell you, if you can't go to that dark place on the heavy day or the volume day, that you won't make progress past a certain level. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, this is why I don't want you to fuck with the workouts, because those are the workouts that are the toughest to do, where you have to go to that dark place. This is where you'll make progress, but you have to go there. So that's the structure. And the 5th day, so the 3rd day, Wednesday, usually I do light rope pulls, like sled press, it's like an active recovery. And Saturday is a strongman day, right? So if I have not done your carry that week, that's where I'll put it, heavy farmers, heavy rope pulls, and then the harness and all that stuff. That's on Saturday. That's a long ass week, but you've covered every base. I do the main movement, I do the carry. After that, I do some main assistance work, never isolation, always compound movement that I feel I might need. So your bag can never be big enough or strong enough. So we do a lot of rows, barbell rows, strongman rows, dumbbell rows, T-bar rows, you name it. We do a lot of those. I love stiff leg on volume days, honestly, before the carries. But that's the overall part of the workout. Now, so you understand, for example, we're talking about neoprene. I put the neoprene on my heavy days always. I only put it on the heavy days because it's kind of hot here and very humid. If I put it more than my on heavy days, if I put it on my volume days, I die so hard that I can't recover. Not well enough. So it's too much for me. So I do it twice a week on my heavy day.
Do you also think there's a maximum amount of using the neoprene per week?
For me,
How
it's
many-
two, maybe three.
Yeah,
I'm okay with two. So it depends what we call neoprene. So for example, what I'm talking about is the full fashion statement, right? So by the way, one of the reasons you don't see me post in full neoprene, so maybe you think I'm not doing it, I'm still doing it. But when I put it like that, the whole thing, I looks like Santa Claus. So I'm just not gonna post a picture of that. Because, you know, especially with the belts and everything, I have that huge belt stomach thing with a white beard, and I look puffy everywhere because I put so many layers. I fucking look like a dark-skinned Santa Claus. I mean, at least it's not red, it's black. I mean, type of thing. And so with a white beard, nah, that's just not working. So Yaya trash talked me the other day on that. He's like, "Oh, Dad, you look great." I was like, "Yes, I know, thank you." It's it looks a certain way. Let me put it this way.
Especially because you have really long legs. It looks so fucking funny.
Did you just trash me? Do I look like a French bulldog? Is that what you're saying? You know when they stand up and they have the stomach with the skinny legs? You know, like a dad butt? Yeah. I don't look good. Let's be honest. Like it's
like,
no, I'm not.
No,
by the
like,
way, before you ask, no, I'm not posting it.
Because the neoprene compresses your legs.
I have
So
skinny
you
legs.
look like a model, but then the rest of your
What are you saying? What are you saying? You're laughing a little bit too hard, by the way. Like, I find it disturbing that you're still laughing about it. The truth comes out. Anyway.
Well, I get like half the likes that I usually get when I wear neoprene.
Well, no shit.
I look like shit as well. I don't
No,
like.
you
I look
never
even
know.
more. I look even more like a block. So
You're not no. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going into this. Where was I? Neoprene. Right. So there's a full neoprene versus just putting a reband shorts. When we put the reband shorts and the reband, that doesn't count as neoprene. For me, neoprene means I'm putting the 2 layers on my stomach, which actually is one of the most taxing things for me. That's probably because I'm so arched and, you know, my ribs are up, so my stomach pushes forward always. And so I have to, with the double belt that I put, I'm always engaging my obliques. I find that exhausting. That alone makes me sweat like a motherfucker.
yeah.
So I put that, I put the jacket, like the full-on jacket, 3 sizes too small, by the way, so it takes us 5 minutes for me to put the shit on. Because the jacket, it stocks everywhere, so it's at the elbows and everything. Then I put the knee sleeve that I have, the small, I put them around my arms, which I know I got bigger triceps because it's getting harder to put up. Then I put the pants, the shorts, and then the knee sleeves. So right now I can't even put the pants, I just put the shorts and the knee sleeve. And that honestly is twice a week, otherwise I can't recover from it. It's great, but man, does it break me. That being said, it activates things in a way. Neoprene I started 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I gotta tell you, it's one of the best shit I've ever come up with.
Oh my god, it's
amazing.
Fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's really
but it only works if you end up in a bad place. Like it's a bit like that volume training. Is you gotta go. The neoprene, if you don't end up in that dark place of oh my god, like you're almost freaking out, you won't get the results from it. Because I've seen people putting neoprene. I don't know if it's too loose or you're not putting enough layers or it's too cold outside. But if you don't go to a dark place, you don't get shit out of it.
Yeah.
So you got to put the full thing, and honestly, by minute 30, you should be sweating or starting to go like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
And by minute 40, you take it off because you just can't take it.
Yeah.
So like, it's that.
Sometimes even when I've just put the belt and the shorts, I'm already like.
Like here, it's a bit rough. By the way, speaking of weight, this is not a
Very
torture
good.
instrument either. Yes, you have to go to a dark place. But I had one of my clients were telling me someone made him put a full neoprene outside in the sun in a 32-degree Celsius, so like 80 something Fahrenheit. No. 90 something Fahrenheit. No. That's stupid. That's not the neoprene. Do not put it in the sun ever. Do not train with neoprene in the sun ever. And do not put it over 90 degrees. No, do not put the full thing over 90 degrees. You will sweat so much that you will cause yourself a shutdown. That's not the neoprene idea. That's just plain stupid. If you put it in 100-degree weather outside in the sun, you're just asking to hurt yourself. And then you're going to blame me for it, obviously. That's not the neoprene either. Understand what the point is. The point is the tightness on the skin with some heat effect just to trigger that sympathetic innervation so that the muscles that are not working optimally will start to wake up. That's the point of the neoprene. And does it work when you do it well? Fuck yeah, it does.
It works
one of the
so well.
It's one of the best shit I've came up with. I kid you not.
Works. Yeah. It's like I don't have enough good things to say about it. It's basically free gains putting it on. It's like literally you can do the same amount of work with neoprene versus without neoprene.
You gain muscle. I gain muscle so
like
fast.
crazy.
So you understand. Right now I'm 245, 250. I'm actually about as lean as I was at 109.
How much of that is in your legs?
That's funny. That's hilarious. Most of it is in my back. You wouldn't know what that feels like. You don't know what that feels like, right, lads? Exactly. You know why? It's because I can't see my legs. I can't see my lats in the mirror. Well, you can see your legs, so that's why you're working on them so much.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Anyway,
it's not nearly as funny. Sorry. I don't care enough.
Calling narcissistic, you're like, yeah, what's your point? Obviously I do, but I don't
What
have
do you mean?
Why is that a joke?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just true.
Don't
Anyway,
hurt
yeah.
me. Those things.
Yeah, no. Calling narcissistic does not hurt you. No, exactly. Right, so we do that. Internal torque, external torque, to come back. When do I work external torque? I like to work it on the either volume deadlift or squat deadlift because I love the power cleans for the ET. So I can either throw a sandbag up or my favorite is still the sandbag power clean. I think that shit is amazing. It would be also like putting a stone over the bar, stuff like that. You can do it.
Over the yoke.
Sandbag over the yoke, that's a great one. All that stuff. I feel this is better used for the volume day. So not necessarily volume like 30 reps. I mean by that, like, like sets of, workout sets of 4 heavy. Like for example, one of my favorites is the power clean, the sandbag, Zercher carry. I feel for the ET, at least on the power clean, it's the best movement. So it's a good mix of ET, IT for that. I like to work it like that. But you could do it heavy, like on a heavy power clean, but that's something I don't know how to do because I've never trained ollie lifting. Yeah. So I like to do it with the sandbag. Do I do max weight power cleans? Yes, I do. Yeah. So I also do the ET for max weight. I just honestly, I like to put a little bit more reps into it. So I like it better on the volume day, but whatever, they both work.
Yeah.
That's just my preference. I'm not an ET guy. But you could also do, for example, max box jumps on your heavy day, just as an accessory work. Like there's stuff like that can be done for does the ET need to be worked? 100%. So I like even throwing stuff in the air, stuff like that. That's a very good for the shoulders. Different ways of doing it. But so as you can tell, it's the same thing. It's the ET, IT. We still work it. Then we work with neoprene. We work a fuck ton of carries still. So it's all the Strongfit stuff that you heard me talk about for like 10 years. We do exactly that. Nothing has changed.
No. Yeah.
And so Damien asked me a very good question before. At the beginning of the programming, I was using the imams a lot for your squat. And now I'm using more like a max 3 reps or stuff like that. So we say, well, how come you went away from the imam?
Because
so
I'm less of a pussy.
That's actually the real reason. But let me explain
I'm
a bit.
pussy on a bunch of things, but a little bit less on the squat.
No, you're not. Well, actually, on the depth.
Yes, and on the workout that I
that's different because you haven't trained. No, that's not that. No, that's not the same reason. That's 2 different things. So actually, that's great because I need to explain to you that way they'll understand what I mean by that. Before, you were a pussy in the sense of you couldn't squat heavy because anytime you buckle or things move, you freaked out. Mm-hmm. That's not the same as that workout. That workout, you can go to a dark place because you train yourself out of it. You train yourself to win so much that you can't take a loss without feeling defeated. Right. That's, remember what we talked about narcissism, where it's bad? That's where it's bad. Is you started to do imams, why? Because you like them better, because you feel you're winning. Right, but at some point when you have to face an AMRAP like that, where you go till you quit, then you feel defeated instead of simply stopping. A loss is not a defeat, right? That's not the same as the problem we had with the squat. The problem with the squat is when you came up and your knee buckled, that freaked you out because you were afraid of getting hurt. So that's physical anxiety, which is your form of anxiety. Mine is cognitive, Janina's is physical. Yeah. When she felt her knee moving, she went, oh, I'm gonna get hurt. That's what the shape your anxiety take, and then so you shied away from the squat for that. That is not the same thing as this. This, you're just being a pussy because you have trained yourself into winning all the time to the point that you can't take a loss anymore, which is very dangerous. So that's why I told you, stop changing my workout, go to that one. That is not the same as the squat. So, everybody has a specific form of anxiety. You got three. You got social, you got physical, you got cognitive. My daughter is social, I'm cognitive, Janina is physical.
Yeah, personally, I don't, socially, I don't give a fuck.
Cognitive,
I don't have a mind anyway.
Yeah. 3 brain cells, we good?
3 brain cells and I'm fucking going.
Exactly. I can make my whole life work like this.
Physical, listen, this is all I got.
That's not true, but anyway. But you do have it. Yeah, exactly. It's there, that's for sure. Yeah.
Dude, I can't lose this.
Yeah, I gotta be hot. Yeah, exactly. So
and perform.
Yeah, and perform. So, for example, we were in Rio, I remember, and she had a triple on the squat. It was only 90 kilos.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that 3 years ago I squatted 90 kilos?
And now you 140 for sure. Yeah. It's 50 kilos in 3 years on your squat. Yeah, 15 kilos a year. That's what I say all the time. Anyway, so on the third one, the knee moved a bit, and then she freaked out, and from there she wanted to quit powerlifting because it just triggered basically what was a panic attack. And so I was like, all right, so we can't keep pushing the squat like that. You don't, that's not how you face anxiety. So what did we do instead? We created the imam. Why? Because the imam never lets her go to that failure when the knee moves. She only does 1 rep at that weight, for example, then she wins. So for example, when I put her on an imam, she ended up doing 1 rep and then eventually 2 reps. So she started the first 8 minutes, 9 minutes with 1 rep. And she was like, oh, I'm fine. And she finished the last 3 with 2 reps. So she ended up doing a total of like 15, 16 reps, where before we tried to make her do 2 sets of 3 and we failed. So she did so much more work. Why? Because I shifted from something that triggered a panic attack to still a squat with the same weight, but in a winning format, so that her mind would not break down under the load. Because in that particular case, if I had forced it, only negative things would follow. Yeah. So, but that was then, right? So my plan was always, we're gonna make you win on the squat so that you see that you can do it, everything is fine. So we're not triggering the panic attack. She goes from 90 kilo to 100 kilo to 110 to at the end she could do the imam with 120 kilos, which she did at the end, right? So
yeah.
265.
Probably now I can do it with definitely some more weight.
Yeah, exactly. So now she can do the imam with 265 kilos. The problem is now she's so confident on the squat, she's starting to cut the reps short because she wants more reps. So we used to make her do the 20 rep back squat and we have to stop. Why? Because she did it with 110 kilos for 20 reps. And you know what? She probably cut short 70% of them, or at least not IPF rule. So guess what happens at the squat in a competition when things, she cut it short because she wanted to win. That was the problem with the imam. So now, could we do an imam where we make sure that we're going to break the parallel and everything? Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do in the next phase. But I'm going to do it just to get the depth so that we don't have that problem in competition. But that being said, I don't necessarily need the imam constantly to build the confidence because it's already there. So now I can make her work on a squat for a triple that is just better for a powerlifting competition. So that means that right now we're not training for a competition. We are training for the training for the training for the competition. Does that make sense? That's what we're training for. The training for the training. So now we can do imams, we can play with the depth, and we can get her to do an imam with 120 kilo, but this time with depth below what we need in competition so that that confidence comes back on that. And then because she's not panicking like she used to, I can still put some max lift in there. So for example, it would be a normal heavy day, heavy squat, we can do a max triple. And on a volume day, we can put a imam of 1 rep for 12 minutes, but this time you have to break parallel fully, a single or a double for 12 minutes, which is a lot of reps. See, those are different ways, but this is not for a squat per se. This is for Janina. So the programming you can't just teach the squat. You have to teach the squat to that person. Don't teach the squat. Teach Janina to squat. That's what I'm not making her strong. I'm making her strong. And I'm not just training you for strength. I'm training Janina for strength. So I have to see what is necessary for her.
Yeah, well,
physically and mentally.
What I know is also necessary for me is that I have to stop, like I have to discipline myself more mentally to do the right thing even when things get hard. Like for example, in the 20.
That's not your problem. Your problem is no. That's not true. You can do things hard whenever you want to. That has never been your problem. Your problem is winning too much.
Yeah. No, I mean.
No. Your problem is winning. Yes, the second you start winning too much, you build an ego, and that always. Then you go on your own way, and you make your own workout. You start cutting your squat short. That's where you have to build a stronger discipline.
Yes,
don't get away from what needs to be done. It's need versus want. There's what you want, what you need. So you did what you wanted with the squat, and at the competition, you got reminded that it doesn't pay off.
Yes.
But by the way, that's valid for all of you that are constantly changing my workout. You're just doing what you want. That's all okay, but understand it's not the workout.
Yeah, and isn't it so much easier? But it doesn't give you any results. That's the thing. I mean, I don't feel like we all are guilty on it to a degree.
So
for me, it's a big weakness.
So am I.
And I just need to work on it.
By the way, this is not a criticism.
No, exactly that. But that's a bit what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
To me, it's not like it's in that sense me that I'm doing something wrong. I just have a wrong behavior towards something that I need to address. It's a bit like having a weakness. It's not that you are having.
But it's not even wrong. See,
like I just need to.
The reason I don't like those words, like the judgmental words, like right and wrong, is like people think I care that way. I do not.
No, it doesn't.
I care about results.
Yes.
So when people hire me one-on-ones, they template what they want is results. You don't need my approval in one way or another. You need my approval to tell you that the work that we are doing will lead to results. That not that you're doing a good girl, good boy type of things. What you want from me is this is going to work. This isn't based on my opinion, based on my experience. Yeah. If you come to me, that means you trust my experience. But I am here to give you results, not judgment. I don't care. You do something wrong, I'm like, all right, let's fix it. Who cares? Yes. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's not right or wrong. It's just like results or not.
Yes, that's all. I used to feel very deeply when something would go wrong and feel like, oh, it's me. Yes, it's me, and it's my flaw. But it doesn't. In a way, it doesn't matter. It matters a lot, but it doesn't matter because you just have to fix it.
It matters as an indication of something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
That's all. But it's not a judgment of you as a person.
No, exactly.
I could not care less.
No.
It does not define you. Now, if you keep cheating on an exercise because you don't want to go to a dark place, that's something that mentally you're going to have to switch in order to get results. But it's not an attack on the person. It's not a judgment on the person. It's like, do you want results? Yes. Well, then we need to do that.
Yes.
That's it. And the things that are in the way for us to get to that need to go away. So how do we do this? And then we work our way.
And that's kind of the point with what we said a few podcasts ago about that, how important it is to have a goal and whatever. It's like, you see how much
to know you're doing better.
Yes, that, and how much do you get out of that journey towards reaching that goal? Like, for example, all of these things that I'm like having to prove about myself, learning about myself, getting confronted with, is things that would also affect me in my life, would also affect me in my other parts of my training. But I need to address it to get a better performance. But it works hand in hand.
Yeah,
like,
but that brings
just getting better at the squat. It's becoming the person
that brings an important point that actually we talk about with coaches when they have group classes and everything, is escapism through fitness.
Yes, well, I was very guilty about that for sure.
Right, and we all have been. And I got to tell you, I think there's no greater enemy to your progress than escapism through fitness. What do I mean by that? Like, for example, when I say don't do a farmer's carry for 50 meters.
700 meters.
Yeah, exactly. To do it for 50, not 500. Some people are going to do it for 500 meters because it's just part of a workout that needs to be different than they used to because they get bored, and that cannot in a way be challenged or judged because you're not going to do that workout again. So you have nothing to compare to, so you're never losing. That's a lot of the programming that I see now, is people are making sure they're not losing. Yeah, you know what happens when you program not to lose is you never win. That's how this works. Because I got to tell you, you program to win. We do deadlift now, we do deadlift for 6 weeks. If it doesn't go up, we lost. But that's what people are trying to avoid. And I see a lot of programming that is different every day, that is challenging specifics every day in a way that cannot be not judged, measured. Because then they cannot lose.
Yeah.
If that's why they're starting to put words into it, like you have to feel this, or this is the technique we're looking for and everything. So you're putting it in a way that can never be measured, because that way you never lose. And so you have those 40-minute workouts where you go, what was the point of the workout? And you go to do 40 minutes. All right, so what are you going to do in 40? You can do in 20. So outside of filling up the hour, and I move for 40 minutes, what was the point? And most times there is no point. That's why there's no measuring it, because they don't want to measure it, because otherwise it will indicate that this is not doing anything of value over time. Because I got to tell you, if we're all going to train and we don't make progress over time, what is the point? Then you know what the point is? Escapism. Not being yourself for an hour, being in your body and not in your head for an hour. It's a lot of that. It's just a way to deal with anxiety. I got to tell you, that is not the way to deal with anxiety. Escapism through fitness only promotes the problem. It's like that bad therapy we were talking about last week. It's the same idea. Escapism through fitness just allows you not to think about the fact that you're not making progress for an hour. But I moved a lot. You're just convincing yourself that you did something, where actually, if we start to look from last year to this year, you made no progress. That's a depressing thought. So we're not going to measure so that you never have to face the problem. And people are like, yeah, but I don't care enough about training. Then why are you training then?
It's a very good question.
So my question is always the same. What does success looks like? And give a true answer. Not I want to get stronger. Okay, what does that mean? You want to get stronger. Fine. What does success look like? And you're going to have to tell me what that is. And at some point, it's third at the world. From an athlete's career. Obviously, it does not define Janina. There's other successes. Like she's going to be a mom, or married life, the house. Obviously, but every time you have to know what success looks like in your endeavors.
Yes. And
so
in a way,
for me right now, it's going back to my strength that I was at 40, being 47 for 3 years.
Yeah.
Can I do that without juicing? Right?
Yeah.
If I can do that, now that's success, because I proved the system works in his training stuff.
And that's my primary reason why I want to get to the Worlds and do very well, the Worlds and everything. But at the same time, once you get there and once you get a medal,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, because it's really about that you got there and all the things you had to address.
The point is that the system worked.
Yes.
That you became the person capable
yes.
of being third at the Worlds. When you get the medal, throw it away. The point was never the medal. The point was getting the medal. And once you have it, throw it away. Give it to charity. It's like making $1 million. Yes. Become the person who makes $1 million. Then give it away to charity. But who you had to become in order to earn $1 million, that will carry over. So that's the point of the medal. Third is, and why are we saying third? Because it's within our potential. If he wasn't, I would never say that. For example, as a sprinter, third in the world was never going to happen. No, so we don't aim for that, because that's right, because that'd be stupid. That's not going to happen. It's like me playing in the NBA. Yeah, I think unfortunately, honey, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not going to work out.
You do have the legs for it.
Oh, you're happy? You were witty? So that's going to make you, exactly. I'm sure they will laugh at that one. But yeah, anyway, that's me, by the way. I'm kind of, I'm a bit hurt right now.
2 podcasts ago, I was like completely like stroking you, like how about your body and everything.
Just know one thing.
About your body
Just know one thing. If you
yeah?
dish it, you better be able to take it.
Dude, I take it
It's
all
coming
the fucking
back.
time.
It's coming back. That's what she said. But it's coming back. I can tell you that right
No,
now.
like-
No, look.
Listen-
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I had a few laughs out there. Let me tell you.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Oh.
Give $1 if you like that one, so that she can go buy a bag or something. Because that's the only bag you're gonna get. Anyway, we're gonna talk about. It's gonna come back to you. Anyway,
You have to still find your insult. Like I feel like it's not really there yet. It's not really hitting me yet.
no, because I'm not gonna put that on a podcast.
It's like a weak ass comeback. Come on.
I'm not
You
gonna
can
put
do
that on a
better than
podcast. Oh, trust me, I will. I'm just not gonna put it on a podcast. But don't
Oh,
worry.
look how nice you are.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So the point is to get there, right? It's the person you become in order to get there, and that's so escapism through fitness. And again, I deal with a lot of my work is on anxiety. Is not the way out of it. All you're doing is perpetuating the problem, because on top of it now you have another issue: is you train really hard and you don't see progress. So that's another type of anxiety that comes, and you're gonna have, if you train harder than that, you're gonna start hurting here and there. That's another problem. So without an overriding purpose, it's gonna be very, very difficult to go forward. The best way of all this is still getting stronger, for all the stuff I keep explaining on podcasts. But even if you train just to be hot or to run faster or whatever, you still need to get stronger from a physiological and mental perspective. It is exposure therapy. It has to be followed.
Yeah. So, talking a little bit more about like all the things, the Strongfit things that we're still using in our today's training, because we talked about meal print, we talked about IT and ET. Like, talk a little bit more about what else you're using.
Well, let's talk about the food.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good idea. Well, I
Just
mean, we talked about your new, how you're structuring it. I feel like that's a good thing. You bought
movements.
550 and 700s. We still use.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
basically everything.
Yeah, by the way, because warm up, we still do the oblique opener.
Yeah.
We still do all that. Like
all of
nothing
the,
has
all the
changed.
openers. We
All
still
the
use
openers.
that.
Yeah, nothing has
Um,
changed.
The female thing, Julian's not
Yes.
using, but I am.
Yeah, where we make sure that time of the month, like this is where we put our deload. Like nothing has changed. But let's go. Because
yeah.
we are.
Not that long enough, but I feel like.
That's what she said. Anyway, let's stop there and then we'll do food next week.
Oh, wait,
Sorry, we still have issues with, now it seems we have issue with the sound. I hope I can save it, but if the sound is not perfect, I'm sorry. We had it, like my phone was supposed to record, and apparently he paused when the screen went dark. I hope it's not an issue. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week.